How we looking? How we looking? Hey guys, what's up? That is a bold, bold statement, right? What did I say? What's the topic? How you guys doing? Come on in. You guys ready to see the master in action? Way too happy. Chill out, Mark. Well, guys, it's going down today. It's going down. What was the topic, y'all? Would you like to see me create 12 pieces of original content in less than 1 hour? You gotta take a breath. I have a feeling there'll be a lot of talking, a lot of fast talking. How can I jam? How can I create 12 pieces of original content? Come on in, guys. Well, come on in. We were locked up before we started. So this is going to also go on Facebook Live. Hello, Facebook Live. I cannot see your comments. I'm focusing on my webinar, people. What's up, guys? For those of you who don't know what the topic is, today it is content creation, which is arguably the most important thing you can do in any business, in any niche. You guys hear me loud and clear? Please let me know. Okay, so 12 pieces of original content in less than an hour. As a matter of fact, look what I have today. I have a timer. I'm not going to be using Alexa. Alexa, stop. I'm going to be using the real deal. Okay? 12 pieces of original content in under an hour. Okay. Couple of things. Super quick agenda. How you guys doing? Come on in. I always say that. It's a habit from the lives. You're all here. Who wants to see me in action? Well, you're going to see me anyways. Here's what I want to say. That's a crazy, bold statement. How is that even possible? Come on now, Mark. Seriously? Who do I think I am? Superman? As a matter of fact. Okay. I better get my breath. We got to stay on track for sure, because I got some really crazy news for y'all. I'm not going to create 12 pieces of content in under an hour. Let me tell you what I'm going to create in under an hour. I'm going to create 13, not 12, not 13, not 14, not 15, not 16, not 17, not 18, not 19 or 20, not 21, not 22, but 23. I'm serious. I'm serious. The good news is, this is exactly what needs to be done for me. I'm going to show you exactly what needs to be done because I know how to do it. The bad news is, it's my first time doing it. So it's documented. I love it. So by the time the hour is up, when I begin, I will start. I'll start the timer. We have an hour. However, I'm going to explain to you what I'm about to do. Okay? I'm going to start really quick by saying welcome to the Branding YOUniversity Sunday webinar. This one is a kind of, and by the way, I'll be working with 4 of you in the month of March. I'll be opened up in March, just as a little heads up. Who here would like to work with me for a full week? I'm taking 4 people. I'll tell you guys what's up after this. And there is only 4 spots. I've decided that because I need to take today's subject matter and have examples of you guys, 4 of you, that I could feature in a course, okay? So this will become a course, how to create a dozen pieces of content in under an hour. Super powerful stuff. And I need some case studies. Just as a little, and it's only 4 of you, so don't worry. The offer is, there is no offer. It's literally 4 of you, and I'll explain to you why. Because with what I'm going to do today, the end result is nothing short of magical. What these 12 pieces of content will do for any business. They're professionally edited. Well, obviously there's some editing. We're going to go through that in a sec. I have a videographer actually now, so I don't have to do that work. So I'm leveling up in the biz. You'll see my future videos. Got somebody doing this, a pro now. So I want to take 4 of you, because what I'm going to do today will get edited professionally and is going to work in a certain way. That's just a game changer. It's a game changer. This hour I'm about to invest with you guys right now is going to, I don't even want to know what it's going to do long-term for me. I do want to know, but there's no way of knowing, because it's going to generate leads all the time, is going to brand you all the time, is going to guide people to your custom audience as well all the time, and it'll basically get you out there. 12 pieces, well, in this case, 23 pieces of this content I'm about to talk about here, spinning out the way I'm spinning it out. It's life-changing. It's a life-changing hour. It is. So I urge you, all of you, to take action on this. I really do. As a matter of fact, I highly recommend that you use the subject matter. I always tell you guys, you can copy me, right? I highly recommend you use this subject matter. The subject matter is one of the most sought after subject matters in small business. It's pull yourself out of a business rut. First of all, who feels like they're always in a business rut? They can't get going. I'm in a rut. I do all the time. So there are 10 ways that I've kind of curated the best ones, the most viral ones. 10 ways to pull yourself out of a business rut. So after today, instead of busting yourself apart, instead of thinking about what you're going to do, I recommend do this topic. Let's all do this topic. It's viral. It goes viral. So because people need to get out of a rut, it's super easy to target this stuff too. Applies to any small business owner. Applies to anyone that's in business. It actually kind of applies to life as well. So this will be an exciting little hour. We haven't started timing yet because I haven't started doing the content. So I need to say this really quick. For those of you who's in small business, if you're not a small business entrepreneur or an aspiring small business entrepreneur or want to work from home in your pajamas, I love to say, yes, I'm wearing shorts. This is probably not the webinar for you, because this is about content creation, video and audio, as we're going to talk about. So let me paint the picture in under 5 minutes, okay? Why is content important? Well, as you guys probably don't know, I observe 8-figure earners. I observe global phenomenons. I observe famous people in my niche, such as Ty Lopez, Gary Vaynerchuk, Grant Cardone, and the list really goes on. Those are the 3 that I closely look at. And there's 3 things they have in common, and not many other people do. 3 things. And these 3 things, anyone who has these 3 things that I could find, they're laughing all the way to El Banco. They really are. Those 3 things are a 500-piece content library. 500 pieces of content. I'm up to 192 as of today. Now that I understand this, I'm adding to that library. How that works for you, we will get into throughout today. But today's really about understanding why content is that important. Before you're like, why should I create all this content? First of all these guys are doing that. They have 500 piece pieces of content available online in their library. Guys, 500. 500. Number 2, they post new content daily, every day. That's number 2 common element. Number 3, they do it on all platforms, okay? So, number 1 is, well, first of all, if they're doing it, I got to do it, okay? 500 is a tall order, but how are you going to get to 500? How are you going to get to 100? How are you going to get to 10? You got to get started, okay? It's a journey. Took me 4 years to get to, no, 3 years actually. 3 years ago was my first video ever, my first piece of content. Took me 3 years. We're 10 minutes in, I got to speed it up. Took me 3 years to get up to 192 pieces of content. However, in the past week, I did a dozen. I did 2 or 3 per day. So, it's all about taking that action. I need to get to 500 now. I now realize that. And I need to do 500 pieces in my library. Doesn't mean nothing's going to happen before that. If it happens after 100, my life is magical. Every extra piece of content I put out there, make it do its thing. My leads just increase. My public figurism increases. Public figurism. My audience grows, and El Banco gets El Largo. It's all connected to putting out that content, okay? We really need to establish that and why it's so important. So, 5 minutes on this example. This is an example. This is not really me. I'm not doing this. But let's say my name is Marco. Marco makes, this is an example of how the new digital world is rewarding businesses today. Okay? It's content based, it's upfront content, upfront value content. So here's the example. El Marco here creates wellness bars in his basement, okay? Or he's got a little local factory he works with. He makes keto bars. Perfect. He makes keto bar. Oh, that'd be a hell of a business, actually. Let me write that down. Keto bars. Ketobars.com. Wow. Okay. No, because keto is a super hot thing. So he makes, oh, geez, you could sell that like bananas. You could sell banana flavored keto bars. There you go, .com. Don't register it. Keto bars. If you guys are registering keto bars, don't do it. I'll do it right now. You guys are probably going to GoDaddy right now. Keto bars. Let's say Marco, El Marco, gets them done. He's got nuts. He's got maybe some avocado in there, stevia, so there's no sugar, cocoa, like all the keto, a bar that qualifies as keto. That's what he does. That's the example. In the olden days, not true. In the olden days, some companies were clever enough to know this, but Marco would not put his keto bars online. If you have a product, fill in the blank, please. I want you to understand how powerful personal branding is and value up front with content that's non-related to your product. You have to understand this. I won't get into the numbers that I can get by doing it this way, but this is the way it works. You provide value that has nothing to do with the product. Well, it's in the niche. It's in the niche. So here's the example. Marco makes keto bars. He works with a local factory, a local kitchen. They produce like 1,000 per week for him. He puts them online and he says, keto bars for sale. That would probably actually just sell on its own. It's so hot right now. But he puts it online. It's not going to work very well anymore. Even if they're targeted, it doesn't. Not as well as option B, which is El Marco talks about keto and why keto is beneficial and makes a value video about keto. What is keto? How do you get started in keto? Value video. Boom. Gets people to watch the video, captures them in an audience. Does another video on any platform in any way. You just capture them and then end up inviting them to a webinar. So usually 2-3 videos. I won't go into the whole process. You could use funnels. You could go direct ad. You can do it any which way. You can even just do it on YouTube. And then all the people that watch your videos, you have one of your videos that invites to a webinar where it's closed webinar. They have to show up. And once they show up at that webinar, then you give them a big keto tip. The 3 foods you do not want to eat when you're on keto. Let's go through them, or let's create a meal plan on Sunday's webinar. You guys get the point. You lead with value. Marco leads with value. The more content he's got out there, the more people he's capturing in his audience. Invites to a webinar, and then he sells the keto bar on the webinar. He's closing about 70-80% of the people on that, okay? So your job is to create a lot of content in your niche. I hope I illustrated that well. It applies to absolutely every single niche. Now, if you are a product pusher, that's okay too. I mean, I can't tell you guys to stop posting your products because it's too soon. It's too soon for you to understand the power of not mentioning your product. So I'm not going to, we just started dating here. I'm not taking you home tonight. We got to warm it up. We got to kiss first, We got to start slow. So if you're showing your product online, then add some content in between that. If you're pushing, CBD oil, have a video every now and again. The more video you have that talks about the benefits of hemp or whatever CBD is, I don't know much about it, but I know it's trending, or the benefits of going on keto. If you have videos interlaced, and then every now and again you promote your product, opposed to just promoting your product, it's day and night. You will go from selling 5% to 90%. Your sales will be that much increased, that much dramatically, because people know you as the person who provided value in that niche. So, does that kind of make sense for the newbies of why content is important? So that took 15 minutes in. I got to move. So I said all of that to sell you on the importance of original content by you. And if you're doing the content, which you will be, people are going to buy from you. People are going to buy from you because you're on the video, you provided the content. In their eyes, you're the expert. You were on TV to them. You were on TV. They saw you on TV. Are they going to buy from you? They will buy from you. It's all the difference in the world. It's an influence play, okay, guys? So the more content you have, the more money you'll make. Boom. I'm going to leave it at that. Let's go. I'm going to create, I was going to say 500. I'm going to create, I said a dozen pieces of content in an hour. Here's how I do that. Here's the how we do that. I once heard, I got really obsessed with content lately because as my business was growing, I found that the less sales calls I made and the less people I approached and the more content I put out there, the more my business would duplicate. The more people would be attracted to me and come to me and say, I saw your video. Is there any way I can work with you? I don't even know what you do, but I saw your video. Those started coming in after about 50 pieces of content, okay? Then after about 100, it was nonstop every day. And then I made the connection. I says to myself, the more content I'm putting out, so let's just go on a little content spree. And even just last week, I created like 12 pieces of content. My business is ridiculous. I've had like 25 people a day contact me. It's increasing based on how much content I'm putting out there. Because the content is like you duplicating yourself. And there is no ceiling. Let me explain something quick. This is important. Let's pretend you don't have a blog. Let's pretend you don't have an audience capture mechanism. Let's pretend all you have is you. That's it. YouTube, creates magic, and let me explain how. Let's say you got 5 pieces of content, original content, on a subject matter. I'm targeting small business entrepreneurs, so the topic today is pull yourself out of a business rut. Okay? So you upload those videos to YouTube. When somebody sees your video once, they're going to see another video of you on the side, on the right-hand side, or wherever. It'll be lingering. If they watch a second video of yours, YouTube rewards you for that. They'll show more of you. And not only will they do it on that session, the next time you log into your account, they log into their account, there you'll be. And the more they see of you, the more you're going to flood their timeline all the time. Okay? Without a subscription, guys. They don't have to subscribe to you. That is powerful. YouTube, it's like it's got its own retargeting. It really kind of does. So, what's better? To have 5 videos on YouTube on your channel or to have 500? That's pretty obvious, right? What's better? To have 2 videos on your YouTube channel? Maybe I'll show you how to set that up with the tags and with the SEO and stuff. We'll see how we're doing on time. Either that or to have 12. 12 videos that I will create today are going to change your business. They will. You have to take action though. If I can do it in 1 hour, you can do it in 1 hour. Okay, guys? So far, are you with me? You with me? Who agrees with me that content is king? Who agrees with me? Start building that content. Start building those pieces of content, and don't be so wrapped up in how am I going to promote it? How am I going to spin it? How am I going to syndicate it? How am I going to get it to all platforms? How am I going to put it on rotators? As you learn that, you might as well have 50 pieces to work with, right? Because when the time comes and you learn how to do all that, if you've got 5 pieces, won't do much. If you've got a dozen to 20, you could work with that. You could throw that in Twitter lead machine. You could do so many things with that. So what do you say? Ready to do this thing? Are we good? You guys agree with me? The content really is king in today's new digital business age? It is. So that was very long for what I wanted to say, but I had to stress the importance of providing quality content. So that's done. I'm going to say something about Gary Vaynerchuk. Who's familiar with Gary V? Who's familiar with his 88-page deck, content deck? Anyone? Gary V really opened my eyes many times. Gary V creates 30 pieces of content from one single keynote. Now keep in mind, Gary V's got 16 people doing that for him. So a keynote. He'll go up on stage, he'll do his speech, his team will cut out pieces of that speech, that keynote, and they will create content out of it. 30 pieces. They'll create audio, they'll create images. An image is content, y'all. An image is content. Today we're going to focus on the video content. 12 pieces of original video content. Now and we can turn it into audio. Let me tell you what the plan is. Number 1. We're going to start here. I will film a video in a certain way. Pull yourself out of a business rut is the topic, okay? Now, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 topics. I'm going to do a piece of content for each topic. I will just, okay, who's seen me work before? You guys have seen me work before, right? You're going to need not fancy editing software for this kind of thing, but you're going to need to crop your video. In other words, when you film your video, you need to be able to take pauses throughout. You need to be able to refer to your notes throughout. Like if I talk about, number 1, try to figure out exactly why you're in a rut. So I would say, number one, try to figure out exactly why you're in a rut. And then I'll be like, ask questions and the answer will come. Then I'll give my little spiel on that. Then I'll go number two. And as I do that, that from 1 to 10 is it's the pillar content. That's what Gary calls it. It's the pillar content. It's the big piece. It's the big piece. It's the second biggest piece. I'll tell you what the big one is. That's the big piece. You're going to have to edit it because you're going to want to take pauses, to sip water, to breathe, to look over your notes. And when I say edit, I mean just crop. I'll guide you guys to where the finished product will be tomorrow. That's how, or this week. So, does that make sense so far? We create one piece of pillar content, and then out of that piece of pillar content, we cut it up. It's pretty friggin' cool. So in other words, we do an intro, and then we jump into a topic, and as I say number one, like this, you're gonna see what I mean. I'll say number one, then I'll take a pause, and then I'll say, try to figure out exactly why. I'll be like, try to figure out exactly why you're in a rut. So in the individual content, you won't hear the number one. I'm just going to start there. So my intro, and then from there, I go from after the number one, and then I take that piece of content, and here's the best part. The conclusion to each of these pieces, which I'll film at the end of it, you put that in at the end of each of the 10 pieces. And your conclusion is this. That was I hope you enjoyed that tip, or that's the tip. That's the tip for getting out of a rut. I have 9 more. If you'd like to see the 10 tips for the 9 other tips for getting out of a rut, simply click the link in its description and you'll be guided to the full video. That's your call to action. So what's happening is, as these pieces of content are going everywhere on the internet, at which they will be, different keywords will pick up from these topics. They're going to attract different people from everywhere, and they're all going to point to your pillar content, which is the whole top 10 list. Make sense? This is going to work magic on social media because people are seeing you again and they're going back to you. You're going to get people trapped in your little wormhole. I'm telling you, this stuff is enough to, all you're doing is you're doing a top 10 list, and then you're cutting out the 1 to 10s. It's a little tricky, but you're going to see me do it because you can take pauses. And then at the end of all of this, you've got 10 pieces of content, because this will take less than an hour. That's what we're timing. You got 10 pieces of content. You've got 11 pieces of content because it's a top 10 list, and the top 10 list is piece of content number 11. And what's content number 12? This right here. How to create 12 pieces of content. This is like beyond pillar. This is the teaching of how to do it. So right now we're basically creating the first piece of content, the big one, which is how to do this. This is a piece of content, by the way, guys, right now. This is the training on how to do it. That's a valuable piece of content. That one, you may not want to worry about too much teaching it, unless you're at that level where you feel you can teach it. But right now, well, it's up to you. But the lesson here for me, for you to take action, is to do the top 10 list. I'd use these exact topics. They're viral. They're viral. I already did my research. I just haven't done them yet. So you guys with me? I know we're almost half an hour in, but I got it out of the way. Now it'll take me less than an hour to go through these top 10. Then once I'm done, you'll see how easy this is. Once I am done, I'm going to work with 4 people, okay? Let me explain quickly working with 4 people. So maybe you're going to want to stick around to the end because I'm choosing them now, today. That's it. Well, here's how it's going to work. I did a coaching thing a little while back, and I said I was accepting 12 people. Are you guys aware of that? Who did I coach in here? Probably a lot of people. Way more than I could handle. Yeah. I thought that coaching a lot of people would serve me and serve you. I thought I could help more people. It doesn't work that way. Some people take action, some people don't. There's a get to know you phase. There's just so much that I didn't anticipate. So I said I would take 12 people. I ended up taking 63. This is not happening this time because my videographer and my editor is going to be doing the work for you. And I will be working with you for a full week. And the reason I can only do 4 people is because I'm wrapping up my coaching this month. And the 4 people will each get a week in March. So week number 1, I'll be working with the person selected as for week number 1. Week number 2, the full week I'm working with you. What will I be doing with you? I will be bringing you into my studio, not in person, online. We're taking like a full day pretty much to create this together where I coach you through what to say on this exact topic. We're going to do this exact topic so you can replicate what I do today. So we may be there for half of the day. It'll take a long time until when you're talking to someone in a video and I coach you through what to say and I have a videographer who can edit it, I know when to tell you, okay, that'll make the cut. Let's do the next line. That'll make the, I'm Dr. Dre. I'm going to direct you through it. And then once we're done our day, I bring it to my videographer and he cuts it up so that you get these pieces of content professionally done with your name coming out at the bottom and the perfect cuts at the right times. And then you just upload them to your YouTube channel for now. And you've got yourself, well, we're going to work all week because we're going to have to do reviews, but my whole week is dedicated to you. And the reason it's starting in March is because I'm wrapping up the coaching. Make sense? So if you want to be one of the 4 people, you're going to want to stick around, okay, guys? Because I am selecting you today, like now. And I'll tell you what you need to do if you want to be one of the 4, okay? Am I going to sell you on it? I'm just going to put it out there. I'm going to tell you what the deal is. And it's kind of a pitch right now for you to stick around till the end as well. Okay, I'm going to take a sip of water. And any questions on how this works, guys? Any questions on how this works? You're going to see as I do this how much you got to be relaxed. You're not doing it all in one shot. So what I would love to do is I would love to grab my tea. Give me a sec, okay, guys? I'm just going to grab my tea. You can put some questions. Is it pretty clear on how this works? How those pieces are taken from the original content? When Gary Vee says he creates in case you're asking about, well, you said 23 pieces of content. Here's what I mean by that. This here, the big piece of content, when we convert that to voice, which we won't do today, once we convert that to voice, that's a podcast episode. That is a podcast episode. So now we are up to 13 pieces of content. We won't do the voice today, and I'm not going to help the 4 people do the voice. We're just going to get you your 10, 12 pieces, 11 pieces. 11 pieces for you. Because it's the 10 individual content that points to the big pillar content, okay? So 11 pieces of video content. If you guys want to go to the next level and just strip out the voice, you've got yourself a podcast episode, 13, and each of these are perfect for flash briefings. For Alexa, stop flash briefings, y'all. So you got 10 flash briefings, you just strip the sound. It's friggin' crazy. So right now, I'm going to show you where to go look at my 192 pieces of content. And in a couple of days, in 1 week from now, that 192 will be over 200, 204. How cool is that? All right. So this is just strip the voice and you've got yourself 23 pieces of content. And I'm not even talking about going multi-platform. When Gary Vee says 100 pieces of content, it's all from one keynote. He has 16 people working for him. We're doing it ourselves. Cool? Are you guys excited? I'm excited. I'm doing this live. It's the first time I do it, and I definitely need my tea. Give me 2 seconds. Give me 1 second. It's all ready to go. Just got to grab it off the Keurig. Give me a sec, guys. Cheers. Cheers, folks. The show must begin. You guys ready? Okay, so here's how we're going to begin this thing. I'm going to get the timer going, and the beautiful thing here is that a couple of things to note is that I'm going to do it in under an hour, okay? But it's going to probably take you longer, because there's a certain way to create content where people are going to relate to you. Remember, we want them to relate to you. It's a little ditty called story stitching. Who's familiar with story stitching? Guys, don't even try to Google story stitching. I coined the term. Story stitching is basically when you give the solution to the problem that you're addressing, and you're adding an experience in your life that relates to that. This is how you relate with people. This is how people relate with you, okay? So I've got notes on every one of these topics on an experience of mine that relates to the solution. You're kind of subconsciously making them like you while providing the solution. Why am I saying that? Well, I'm saying that because if you're doing, I hope you guys take action on this. It's gonna change everything for you. But if you're doing it with an accountability partner, let me breathe. I'm about to go into performance mode. If you're doing this with an accountability partner, you're going to find that you may be more comfortable if you're on video with them, even though they won't be in the video. This is why with the 4 people that I will be working with, I will be there with you every step of the way, and we're going to actually be taking pauses. I'm going to ask you what part of your life can you relate this solution to, and we're going to get into that. And when you're with someone, it's more natural than just talking to a camera. It really is. So if you're not one of the 4, which you won't be because there's only 4, but I want you to think about getting an accountability partner for this kind of stuff, okay? That's number 1. Number 2 is don't even attempt to do it all in one shot. That will drive you nuts. I don't want to get into pre-audience content and post-audience content, but I'll just touch on it. These videos are meant to get people to click a link. They're made to solve a solution. They're not meant to hang out. They're not like a Facebook Live, or they're not like any live. Nurturing content is for that. I don't want to dive too deep into that, but nurturing content, you generally, you don't edit that stuff. You just, hey guys, how's it going? You know, happy whatever day it is. How's everybody doing? Hey, beautiful, right? Just kind of addressing people in the chat. This is not what this is about. This is a pre-recorded piece of content that goes right to the jugular, provides the answer, and has a pretty straightforward call to action. Nurturing content doesn't necessarily need that. Okay, so you need to get good at, you don't need to get good at it, but you might as well know this now, okay? You need some kind of cropping software. I don't know if you could do it straight in YouTube. Can you? You just need cropping software so that as you're talking, you could take pauses, you can screw up, you can repeat yourself, you can look at your notes in between takes without actually cutting the video, and then take out all those blank clips in your video. That's what I have an editor for now. I used to do this all myself. I still do until now. So it'll put you in such a relaxed state, number one. And number two, you're going to get the correct information out there. Number three, you won't have to start over all the time. And your state will be different knowing that it's okay to screw up. You're going to see me do it. Some of you guys have seen me do this, okay? Fair enough? Okay? I use Camtasia if you're curious. I use PC. I don't use those Apple things. But software is software. The only functionality you need here is to be able to cut out those clips, okay? Those silent clips. Edit it. You can edit it. It's not that hard to do, okay? So this is a skill that's not really that hard of a skill. You practice it for a couple of hours, you'll know how to do it. I don't know if there's free software. Maybe you guys can share it in the chat. But it is crucial for this purpose, okay guys? Fair enough? So now what we're going to do is, I'm going to start out with, actually, you know what? Let's start the timer now. I said an hour. It won't take you guys an hour. It could take you an hour. I don't know. It could take you an hour, but I'll do it in an hour and I'll do it fast. And I won't necessarily explain what I'm doing throughout, okay? I'm just going to do my thing. I'm going to do my thing in under an hour. I'm going to do it in way under an hour. And then I'm going to tell you exactly what I do. I'm going to create an intro for the pillar piece. Boom. I'm going to create one intro that's going to apply to all of these 10 pieces. What's the difference between these intros? Very simply, in the big pillar piece, I'm going to say Marc Lalonde from Ottawa, Canada. Well, let's just do it right now. Let me start the timer. I'll tell you. First one, Marc Lalonde. I introduce myself, I address the problem, and I say I'm about to show you 10 ways to get out of a business rut instantly. Boom, that's my intro. Then I'm going to cut that part out for the pillar piece. Second intro that I'm going to do, I'm doing the exact same thing, except I'm going to reveal to you guys how to get out of a business rut instantly. So I'm saying how to get rid of a business rut because I'm applying to one thing, one piece of value. I'm not saying here are the 10 things. Those are the only two intros I need, because when I say I'm going to reveal to you guys how to get out of a business rut, that'll cut. Then I'll say try to figure out exactly why you're in a rut by asking questions. So that intro will apply to all 10. Make sense? Now I'm going to need two conclusions. Conclusion number one for all 10 is, if you'd like to see the 9 other ways to get out of a business rut, simply click the link in this description. That conclusion will go to all 10. You only have to do that once. And then, did I start the timer? No, good. And for the top one, that call to action is simply like, do those 10 steps or do those 10 strategies and you will get out of a business rut instantly. If you would like more value, simply click the link in the description where I have 200 pieces of value for aspiring entrepreneurs. Boom. So you see, 2 intros, 2 conclusions, and then we do the pillar content, and out of the pillar content, we cut out all the 10. Fair enough? Pretty easy, right? You guys understand the flow of this. You're going to understand it right now. You know why? Because, go. Now we're going to perform. There's no performance needed. How's the hair looking? I'm good. I'm good. I'm happy with what I see. Just building up my own confidence, self-confidence. So what I've done, guys, is first let me jump into the intros. Hey, time is ticking. Now I got to roll. Hey guys, Marc Lalonde from Ottawa, Canada. And do you ever feel like you're in a business rut where you can't move forward? Well, I'm going to share with you how to solve that instantly. Perfect. Perfect. This is going to go for all the 10. Okay? You could do it 2 or 3 times, webinar people. If you don't feel comfortable, I'm happy with what I heard. I'm going to use that. Okay? Now I'm doing the second intro for the top 10. Hey guys, Marc Lalonde from Ottawa, Canada. I don't like to smile for this one. It's serious. Just kidding. Hey guys, Marc Lalonde from Ottawa, Canada. And do you ever feel like you're in a business rut and you can't move forward? Well, I'm going to share with you 10 strategies to instantly get you out of those business ruts. Done. Both intros are done in 1 minute, 25 seconds. Conclusions. I'm going to start with these conclusions for the top 10. Remember, we're using the same one for all of them. When you see the final product after the videographer is done, it's magical. Under an hour, I said. Way under an hour. How am I going to kick this off? I'm going to start with the pillar one. So if you guys apply these top 10 strategies, you're guaranteed to get out of any business rut. Now, if you'd like more value, videos on, Now I have over 200 pieces of value available to you for free. Specifically for home business owners and entrepreneurs. That you can access by clicking in the link in this description. That you can access by clicking on the link in this description. Marc Lalonde signing off, and have a great day. Bye-bye now. Good enough. It's very good, actually. You did good, Marc, on that one. I'm talking to webinar people. See how I struggled a bit? I think that was a good example on how you don't have to nail the whole thing. YouTube, the pros are doing the cuts. You see them all over the place with the big ballers, okay? So again, this is acquisition content. It's made like that. Look at them all. You'll notice the clips. It's normal. It's actually pretty trendy, okay? So now I want to do the other one, the other conclusion, which is guiding anyone from these 10 back to the pillar content, okay? So if you apply that strategy, by applying that strategy, you will get out of a business rut. Now I'd like to reveal the 9 other strategies to pull you out of a business rut. No, I don't like that at all. Now, if you'd like the 9 other strategies to pull you out of a business rut, simply click on the description in this link. It's perfect, Marc. Self-talk. It's perfect. That's actually perfect. So, what I've done, guys, in about 4 minutes is I've got all my intros, I've got all my conclusions, I've got my intro to my pillar content, I've got my conclusion to my pillar content. You guys following with how I'm doing this here? Super stress-free. I mean, for me, it's a little weird because you won't be doing it in front of everyone. I'm doing the training portion to help you guys do this stuff, but you don't have to worry about that. And if you're working with me, we'll be laughing throughout the whole thing. So, how's the glare? Or I probably should leave the glare because we're doing clips. I like the glare. It looks like I'm glowing. So, I'm going to start with number 1. And here's how I'm going to do it. And then I'm just going to go through all the 10. Okay, guys? So, the way I do it is I go number 1. So, try to figure out exactly why you are in a rut. Okay. So, I want to show you guys this first. For every solution, these are my notes. I have You may want clearer notes than this, but I can understand my own notes. See, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These notes are the story stitching. I have them here. So when I say solution number 1, I say number 1 is try to figure out exactly why you're in a rut. That's a solution. Figure out why you are in a rut. Address that right away. So when I say that, I say number 1. And then I say, try to figure out why you're in a rut. Actually, I could use that right there. So what happens when I do that is that in the pillar content, I have number 1, try to figure out why you're in a rut. In the individual content, I omit the number 1. Do you guys understand that? Do you guys understand how that just flows? I'm just omitting the number 1. And that's what I love about the editing stuff. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to roll with it. I'm going to do all 10, and it won't take me an hour. We're 7 minutes in. I got myself do both intros, and I got myself both conclusions. Here we go. Number 1. Try to figure out why you're in a rut. Question. Facebook ad. What do I mean by that? Oh, yeah. You want to ask yourself the question of why you're in a rut, because sometimes it's not so clear. So you actually have to ask. When you ask the question of why you're in a rut, what's causing this rut? Well, kind of magically, the answer comes back to you. Well, kind of magically, the answer comes back to you. It may come back to you immediately. It may take a day. It may take 2 days. But you have to ask that question to yourself. Why am I in a rut right now? Let me share with you guys a little story. Let me share with you guys a little story of mine that just happened last week. I was placing a Facebook ad, and for those of you who know Facebook ads, they can be quite hard to get approved sometimes, if you know what I mean. And in my case, I spent a ton of time creating a weight loss Facebook ad because I personally lost 54 pounds in 52 days, and the whole point of my ad was to share my chubby physique and then my ripped physique. So I spent all this time and energy with the purpose of creating an ad. Yeah, that was the main reason I wanted to lose the weight. Not true. I wanted to get healthy, but I was excited about this ad. When I placed the ad, it did not get approved, and Facebook told me that there was a policy where you could not show your naked body. I was devastated. I was in a rut. I counted on that ad to run. My whole funnel depended on that ad. The whole point of that ad was to show my chubby body and how I lost the weight for visual effect. When I read the policy, not only was I devastated, I was in a rut. What did I do? I asked why. Why are they really not approving this? The answer didn't come to me immediately, but I'll tell you, the next morning, it popped into my head like a slap in the face. And it was based on everything I had previously learned in marketing. The dots got connected simply because I asked, why am I in a rut? Why is this happening? To share the solution with you guys, all I had to do was replace the thumbnail on the ad, and then I could show my naked body as much as I want. So the next time you're in a rut, ask the question to yourself of why you're in a rut, and the answer is guaranteed to come. Perfect. Number one done. I could definitely work with that. It's amazing what you can cut that into. I'm happy with that. That's a beautiful piece of content. Well, it's a beautiful piece of content. It really happened, and it's very, some people may relate, some people may not, and I'm talking to the webinar people. Actually, I shouldn't even have to explain why I went through that. But the bottom line is that's true. When I do ask why I'm in a rut, and it happens all the time, when I physically ask why I'm in a rut, the exact spot that I'm in a rut in reveals itself. Okay, that's number one. I better go faster. We're 11 minutes in. I'm going to do the same process. Really quick now. Well, really quick. What's your big reason why? Okay. Number two. What's your big reason why you are working so hard? What's the why that makes you cry? Why are you doing this? What's going to push you is why, your why. Now, I'll give you guys a little tip on this. The need to avoid pain is greater than the need to gain pleasure. So when you're thinking of what's your why are you building this business? Why are you working so hard? This will get you out of a rut. However, you should be focusing on the pain that would happen. You should be focusing on how painful it would be if you don't get out of that rut, opposed to the pleasure you would get if you buy that new Ferrari. The feeling of pain is much more of a motivator than the feeling of pleasure. So for some of you, it may be your kids, your family. For myself, since I'm single, my why that makes me cry when I'm feeling in a rut is I've created an online educational platform. Last month, that educational platform paid out over 400 people. That is my why. The pleasure in that is that I'm actually putting food on 400 tables. The pain that I would cause to myself is that if I don't get out of this rut, I will be taking away from these families. That is my why that makes me cry. I do exaggerate the pain in my own mind, and you should do the same. When your why is so big and strong and powerful, you will snap out of that rut like nobody's business. Perfect. I'm just thinking that'll cut into the conclusion perfect. If you want more, that what I did at the beginning. Perfect. And it's going to be short. It's long now. How are we doing? 15 minutes. I'm only at number 2, really? Okay. Number 3. Remember, but these are good pieces of content, though. These are good pieces of content, yo. Remember where you came from. Remember where you came from. I said I could understand my notes. What story am I relating to this? Remember where you came from. Okay. Number 3. remember where you came from. Think of your journey thus far. Instead of focusing on the rut that you're in, think about how far you've come. Let's say it's video, for example, for yourself, which is one of the biggest fears that anyone can do, is creating content. Think back to when you started and how far you've come in a certain area, no matter how small it is. You will be proud of yourself at that journey thus far, and that will get you out of a rut. Now, I'd like to share with you an experience of mine that always grounds me to where I came from. About 3 years ago, I had the idea of creating an online educational platform where people could take training, offer out the training, get people locked to them, and get an affiliate paycheck on whatever sells in the system. Three years ago, that thought, that idea was literally a figment of my imagination. I had no idea how I was going to do it, how I was going to create the system, how I was going to build it, how I was going to set up the affiliate program, what kind of training I would have in there, how people would open up student accounts, how I would set up the payment system, how I would set up the courses, how I would set up the payment system, so on and so forth. It was literally like an impossible dream. Here I stand today complaining about my little ruts here and there, and the system is built. We paid out over 400 people last month. Lives are being changed every day. We are growing by over 200 students daily. And when I focus on that, where I came from in that area, I snap out of that rut. So always remember where you came from on your journey. Perfect. 3, we're 18 minutes in. Okay, we can do this. Number 4 is move, change, improve small things. Number 4, move Number 4, move, change, or improve small things around. Whether it's moving a picture here, moving your desk there, reorganizing your office. Whether it's improving your brand colors, improving your video skills. Move, change, improve. Whether it's picking up a book, reading a chapter immediately and learning something new. That change, that movement, that improvement will get you out of a rut. For myself, I like to change my books around. I like to change the books all the time, so there's something fresh to look at with my new books. For myself, I'm big on the improvement if I'm feeling in a rut. What I recently did to get myself out of a rut was I applied music to my content videos. I learned something new by doing that. I started adding fading in pictures in my videos. I started adding inline videos in my content videos. And then the rut of just making content every day was broken. Because because I had moved, I had changed, and I had improved on something. It was exciting again. So by moving, changing, or improving small things, you're sure to snap out of that rut. Beautiful. Next, how are we doing? 21 minutes. This is, I am loving this so much. I'm gonna have to do this more often. This is awesome. Okay, so you guys are seeing it live. It's fantastic. You're seeing the real deal here. Told you I wasn't good at this stuff. I'm not good at this stuff, but the final product will be epic. Okay, here we go. Boo, 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 boo. Introduce, acquire new things. Oh yeah, new things. Number 5, introduce or acquire new things. What do I mean by that? New things or even new people. If you're in a rut, sometimes all you need is something new, a little gift for yourself. Sometimes you need new people. New people to work with. A little bit of recycling, I like to say. I don't know if I looked away too fast there. A little bit of recycling. A little bit of recycling, I like to say. For myself, if I'm feeling in a business rut, I like to acquire new people. In my business, I work with existing. In my business, I train people that are currently working with me in order to scale the organization or duplicate. I often feel like I'm in a rut because they're not taking action. As soon as I put my head down and start acquiring new people, I break that rut. I always try to remember that new blood is the lifeblood of any business. So introducing or acquiring new things or new people is sure to break you out of a rut. Beautiful, Mark. 24 minutes in. Have a holiday, take a break. Number 6. Have a holiday, take a break. That one is kind of self-explanatory, but I know some of you entrepreneurs may be like myself. We don't do holidays. We're busy grinding and hustling, right? Well, I got to tell you guys, it serves you to do that. It serves you to take a break. Even if you don't think you need one. It's proven time and time and time and time again to get people out of ruts. And me, even me, yes, I experienced it firsthand. Now I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I cannot take a week off because my name is Marc Lalonde and I am a workaholic. So taking a full week off will not do it for me. However, I have a little alternative. I go on one date night per week. That's my break. And even though I feel like I don't want to go, I want to be locked to my work and stay committed, just going on that one date night per week breaks me out of that rut. So even if you don't feel you want to, having a holiday and taking a break will definitely get you out of a rut. Perfect, Mark. That'll do. I think that was good. I was honest, and it does work. For the other workaholics out there, it does work. I got to do it once a week. Okay, I got a soundtrack. How are we doing? 27 minutes. We are 6 in. We're going to do it in less than an hour. Way less than an hour. Let's keep going here. Number 7. Number 7. Goof off. Life is way too serious sometimes. Work is serious quite often, or not so quite often. Depends on who you are. But taking what I like to call goof off breaks almost always get me out of a rut. When I say goof off, I mean non-work related goofing off. And I mean for probably only a couple of hours, if that. So if you're really anything you really love to do that's non-work related. For myself, this always, always, always works. What I like to do, you ask? I like reality TV. I love watching Shark Tank. I love watching Survivor. I like walking away from my work and goofing off. I consider that goofing off. I like dancing by myself. And I love singing, y'all. Mistakes, I've made a few, but then again, too few to mention. That's right, I sing. Yes, that's considered goofing off. And is sure to snap you out of that rut. Perfect, that'll do. See what I mean, guys? Do you think I could have done all this in one take? Never. Okay, let's go. 30 minutes in, 3 more to go. Confidant. And these work, by the way, webinar people. These work awesome, but for the record. Number 8. Find a confidant. What do I mean by confidant? I mean, we always try to think positively, but we always try to think positively. It's what we do, right? But sometimes we got stuff that's bugging the crap out of us. And I understand we try to shift those negative thoughts into positive thoughts. However, sometimes it's good to let them out. I'm going to rephrase that. Quite often, it's good to let them out. And letting them out yourself, to yourself, is not as effective as having a confidant. So in other words, find someone you can once in a while bitch and complain with. This is extremely, no. As a matter of fact, just yesterday, I contacted one of my confidants and we let loose. We got on a Zoom and we bitched and we complained and we put it all out there. Non-publicly, obviously. And once we let it all out, to each other, and each went back to work, that rut was as good as gonzo. Perfect, Mark. That works. This is awesome. So, how are we doing? We got 2 more, 32 minutes in. Get rid of what? Number 9. That's a good one. Get rid of what drives you nuts. That could be anything. What could it be? It could be a crooked picture on the wall. Could it be a crooked picture on the wall? Yeah, sure it can. I'm trying to think of things that would drive me nuts. It could be your back is dry and you got to put moisturizer on it. But more specifically, and maybe a little more aggressive, however, definitely rut destroying, is get rid of people that drive you nuts. Yes, I said it. Yes, I said it. When people drive me nuts, I love to block them. I don't know if that was a little brutal. It's not that I love to block. It's not that I enjoy the action of blocking them, maybe just a little bit, is that they're gone. And I know a lot of you agree but are not saying it. A lot of people around you, whether it's in person or on social media or that you're working with, are causing you to be in a constant state of a rut. There are 3 types of people that I regularly get rid of. Oh, this is pretty brutal. Number 1 are my friends on social media. I block them. And the rut is gone. I move forward like usual. Random people on social media as well. If I see people putting negative comments all the time, maybe politics that I don't agree with, maybe just inconsiderate people, insulting people, and I see that in my timelines, it often occupies space in my head. even if I don't, even if they're not friends. Such as maybe someone always down, such as someone always insulting the types of businesses I'm in. That's just an example. Or someone always being negatives of some of the beliefs I believe in. It sticks around. It bothers me if I have to see that all day. So I block them and I don't have to see it anymore. And the rut, the mental rut is gone. I move forward and life is beautiful without them in my life. I don't think I'm going to say the third one. The third one's a little too aggressive. So get rid of what drives you nuts. Yes, including people. And you're going to snap out of that rut in no time. Beautiful. I'll take that. That's number 10 is 37 minutes in, guys. We're done. One more. Complete your incompletes. What example did I... Oh, that's a big one for me. Number 10. Complete your incompletes. This is one of the most powerful strategies I use to get me out of a rut. We all have incomplete things lingering around. I'll get to it. I'll do it later. Maybe tomorrow. I'll see what I can do next week about that. When you're in a rut and you step away from your situation and go finish an incomplete thing and complete it, when you come back to that situation, you feel like you've just accomplished something that was lingering, and it does snap you out of that rut. With myself, I force myself to do weekly content. And I have from Monday to Sunday to get my content done, or more. No. And I have from Monday to Sunday to get my content done. If I'm in a rut in something, I often step away from that, get my content for the week done, which is completing an incomplete, especially early on in the week. It gives me that sense of accomplishment. I go back to my original task and I snap out of that rut. I also have educational videos on my website that I've been meaning to put up there, many of them. When I'm in a rut, I'll do a little educational video, completing an incomplete, go back to my task, I'm out of the rut. I also do the same with many of my mini courses that are on hold. I'll go in and I'll complete a module. I'll go back to my original task. And you guessed it, I'll break the rut. And another huge one for myself, I must commit to contacting 10 people per day. This is what business is all about. After all, your net worth... I almost screwed that up. After all, your net worth is your net worth. No. After all, the size of your net worth is totally... I'm even getting it right. I want to get this one in there. Your net worth is... After all, the size of your net worth is dependent on the size of your network. So if I'm in a rut, I'll go and I'll contact those 10 new people, completing an incomplete, go back to my task, and the rut is gone. So when you're in a rut, just complete some incompletes. Boom, done. 41 minutes, 12 seconds. I'm back, everyone. I'm going to take a sip of water and I'll summarize what the heck just happened. It's a tap on the back, y'all. Kick my feet up. What just happened there, folks, is I just, in 41 minutes, I created 23 pieces of original content. And it's content that feeds itself organically on YouTube. And it's content that you're adding to your library, getting 12 pieces closer to that 100 magical pieces of content. When I said a library of 500 pieces of content, these are guys like the biggest in the business have that, and they put out content every day, and they do it on all platforms. Once this is cut up, and we're going to stick with the 11 pieces because this training is a piece. You won't have this. You won't have this part unless you want to, but it's not worth it. I'm teaching you guys how to get the pillar content and all the 10 other pieces that point to the pillar content, and you're going to do it in under an hour. So guys, who's going to take action on this? I'm going to actually, you guys want to take a picture of that? Take a screenshot of that. There you go. How's that, okay? There you go. So guys, I recommend you do exactly what I did, like literally exactly what I did. This content is hot. This content works, how to get out of a business rut. You add your personality to it. You guys saw how I did my story stitching within, right? I mean, I already know what content does for me. I already know what this is going to do. And the fact that I did this in that little time, it's mind-blowing. And I'm a natural on camera too, right? I'm not. That's my point. So, that's it, folks. That's it. I'm going to show you guys online right now where you can see this content next week. I'm sending it out as soon as the webinar's out. Well, I'm sending it out. I got my guy, I told you. So this will get all cut up. All the content will be housed in my library. But let me just show you online what that looks like, okay? Here we go. Okay, so here is my blog, guys. You guys can check this out tomorrow if you want to see what I just created right now, okay? So if you look at my blog, these are, if you go to body of work on thewealthytrainer.com, if you go, my blog is built so all the content is layered out in categories. We're not going to get into why that is and how it's set up. But if you go on the category, you're going to actually see all of the pieces of content for that specific category. So when you, I don't know, when you click on a piece of content, it goes to that actual video. That's how my blog is set up, okay? So I have them all housed in different sections: wealth, health, random. I got my web series. But you guys get the idea, right? Webinars, click on webinars. They're all laid out here. And this is where people fall into my wormhole. So what I want to show you guys right now is body of work. Body of work is extremely powerful, a section like that, because it documents your entire journey. These are in sequential order. So if if you go down to video number 1, this was literally my first video ever, which is dated 2015. It's crazy. So you actually see my journey. Look at, I was so, you guys don't even want to know how terrified I was in that. I'm not even going to get started. I was soaking wet. But my point is, this is what I want to get to 500. The people that have been coming to this page are blown away. Not because, well, the topics are good, but it's because of the amount of content I have. Guys, this stuff is traveling all over the internet, by the way. I'm just going to quickly show you my YouTube channel to show you it's an exact reflection of this. So there we go. There's my YouTube channel. It's built the exact same way with the sections, and all of my content is on my YouTube channel exactly like it is on my blog. Now, the important thing for you at this time is your body of work, because by the time you learn how to syndicate this stuff, by the time you got this on rotators, by the time this starts going all over the web, you need to start somewhere. So if you've got no content, this journey today will bring you right up to 12. You guys understand the power in that? In 41 minutes, I understand the editing process will take a while, but guys, this is absolutely insane. I'm going to go from 192. Yay, I'm celebrating. 200 pieces of content reached. 200 pieces of content reached. Remember what I said. Anyone with 500 pieces of content that posts new content daily and that does it on all platforms. By the way, all this is on all platforms. I just get people to come back to my blog. Why do I do that? Because I have a retargeting pixel installed here. Anyone who lands on my blog once, I could show them my stuff for eternity and they can't unsubscribe. It's a beautiful way to force my way into people's lives. And the more they dig into here, because of the way it's organized and because new videos are highlighted with the star, people are coming back and coming back and coming back and coming back. So this is where I'm documenting my content. And the main reason I want to bring you here is so that you can come back next week and see 193 all the way up to 204. And you're going to see that that's what I did in 41 minutes. Make sense, guys? Okay, I'm back. We're good? Make sense, guys? 41 minutes. I literally created, just in front of your... I'm kind of blown away by this. Now I think I can wipe that glare. We're done with the production. A little bit of sweat, yeah. It's a bit of sweat and a bit of cocoa butter. You gotta get ready for the lens, right? I'm excited. I'm happy about this. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pick 4 people right now. Here's what I'm offering 4 people. Like I said in the beginning, I'm going to make a course out of this. Obviously, I have to. This is a course that's going to just propel people's success, including mine. I talked earlier about Gary Vee's 88-page deck. This is where this idea comes from. One piece of content, slice it up and redirect it to your pillar piece of content. The social media platforms know you're connecting to yourself. This is what platforms want to do with themselves. We're doing it with our brand. It's crazy. So I'm not going to get into converting things into your business today. I just wanted to show you the process. And I was a little doubtful. I'm like, I got to commit to this now. I got to do all this content. Now editing it will be a piece of cake, obviously, because I got someone doing it. But you can do that yourself. And this content will feed you forever. It'll feed you forever. Could you imagine doing this once a week? If you did this once a week, by the end of the year, you'd have over your 500 pieces of content. Well, 12 times 52. 52 weeks. You do one of these 12 pieces. Why wouldn't you do that? I'm doing it. I may do some quick content like I always do, but maybe once every week, once every month, I'll do this. Maybe once a month I'll do this. An additional 12 pieces of content per month. It's crazy. I'm baffled. I'm actually, when I'm pumped up about my own webinar, it means I'm at the cutting edge of, yeah, well, I'm sure, well, I'm at the cutting edge of it for the level I'm at. I am. And you are too now. You are too. And we don't have a staff. I got one person doing this. So here's my offer. I would like 4 people, 4 of you that I'm going to choose, I'm going to choose you guys, okay? I've got, in the past 3 months, I worked with a lot of people. I love you all. I love you all. But I don't like you all. That's a joke. I love you all, but I'm going to need some action takers here, because here's the schedule and what we are going to do. I need you in the course. I need your journey to 12 pieces of content in the course. I may not put all your 12 pieces in, but I'll put clips from our coaching. The coaching is simple. It's in the studio. What I just did in 41 minutes will probably take us days to do. At least a full day, at least. Because I prepared my stories. We're going to use this topic though. We're all using this topic, the 4 people who go in. We're going to do exactly what I did. But the thing is, when you're in my studio, when Dr. Dre's at work, I'm going to make sure that you get it as right as... I'm going to make sure that your personality is injected in there, but making you feel comfortable and trying to pick up on little things that we're missing. And then I take the whole enchilada. Once I'm happy with it, we may need to meet several times. The point is, a whole week will be dedicated to one person. So we're going to do it in, did I say March or February? We're going to do it in February. February. I'm done in January, all my coaching. And I'm putting time aside for this because I know the value the course will provide. It'll be a free course. It'll be a free course. It'll be properly built. You guys know how it works. And it'll have the 4, they won't be test subjects because you're going to have done the job. I'm not assigning it to you and letting you go. We're working a full week. So the full week of February is person number 1. We get in the studio until I'm happy. If it takes a full day, we do. If you can only do 3 hours a day, we may meet 3 times in that week. I take all the content when I'm happy. The videographer cuts it all up into all the different pieces of content. He adds your name with your title. I don't know if we're going to put music in there. I'm going to talk to him about that. But we're going to do exactly what I'm doing with mine. Then you will have these pieces of content. You put them on your YouTube and you're part of the course. Okay? It's massive exposure, but more importantly, well, it's huge exposure in Branding University once you're in the course, but it's no, that's important too. But it's also the fact that you're going to have this done for you, and then moving forward, you can do it yourself. Yeah, you should. Everybody here should do it themselves. Do you guys understand how powerful this stuff is? What we just did in 41 minutes? If you don't understand, I'm just going to let you know that this is the source of your income and your fan base. And at the end of the day, being rich and famous is what it's all about. Being rich and well known, and being rich and recognized because you use that money to help others, okay? Or live the life of your... Don't give me this stuff about money. It's not important, okay? I don't want to hear it. Being rich is a good thing. Being filthy rich is a good thing. Do good things with the money. And being well recognized, well known is a good thing for your voice to be heard. You want to be, you can help more people. People who say, I don't want to be rich and famous. You do. And it's not about the vanity. maybe a little bit, It's not. Yeah, well, maybe a little bit. You guys understand? This is your catalyst. This is, those of you who are in a rut, do this, okay? So here's how I'm going to pick the 4 people. I'll tell you how much is going to cost you. $497. That's what it's going to cost you for the full week, for the editing, for everything. And I'm only picking 4 people that you do not. Here's how I'm going to choose that. I'm not even going to talk about the price. That's a ridiculous price. First of all, not to be cocky, before my time to work with anybody, my time in general, just my time. Do you want to know how much my time's worth? Would you like to know? I'm not afraid to say. It's not $497 for a day. It's for a week of time, it's not $497. But it's not only about that, it's about getting it right. It's about getting the videographer to get it all cut up for you. It's about you having a product that's going to work for you forever by professionals that are doing it with you and for you. It's a crazy experience. I wish I could do it to more people, but you guys understand I cannot, right? And it's not about the $500. $500 that's irrelevant in my mind. It's about seeing who steps up, and even if you want to get in for $500, you probably won't. I'm going to go, my call to action today is not to take out your credit card. I don't want that yet. What I want is, don't even put it in the chat. You don't even need to put it in the chat. If you want to be one of the chosen 4, here's how this works. In the next week, I'm going to release my videos exactly where I showed you on the blog, okay? I'm going to release them. Before anyone makes a purchase of the 4, I'm going to have those released. So your call to action, if you want in on this, possibly, if you're like, well, let me think about it, well, then submit your entry. Just go into the Branding University group, facebook.com/groups/ I'm going to show you online. I'm going to show you right now. facebook.com/groups/Branding YOUniversity and say, I want the $497 deal. That's all you got to say. And please understand, that doesn't mean much. That means you raise your hand. After that, I will ask you to go look at the finished product and I'll say, there it is. Do you still want that deal? Because once you see the finished product, you'll be like, it's amazing. You'll be like, yes, I do want the deal, but I want you to see that first. So you wanted more. And then once you confirm, double confirm, then please guys, don't get offended if I can't pick you, okay? I have to do it in a certain way. There are people that have been working their asses off in the system. There are people that do they deserve it? I have my own criteria, okay guys? And I can only do 4. And you guys understand why, right? To feature you in the course. And this is it. This is it. This is the call to action. So if you submit in the group, I want to be considered for this thing. You're just going to PayPal it and we book a week, the full week. And the deliverables are yours at the week. This is like a contractual thing. This is not, I'll get to it when I can. And I'll put in the time when I can. It's like, no, the week is yours. I don't talk to anybody else. You are the week. The week is dedicated to you. Fair enough? So, I mean, I'm not even going to close anybody on this because, like I said, all I want you to do, I'm going to share my screen. I'll tell you where to go. Now, this will get syndicated. People are going to see it in the replays. If you're seeing, this is originally done on a webinar. So it's also on Facebook Live. It's also going to be on Instagram. It's also going to be on Twitter and YouTube, guys. This training. Now, if you see the replay, do this as well. I'm only picking 4, but I don't care if there's 500 people that ask. I'm going to look up your profiles. I know many of you. I'll probably work with some people I know anyways. But go for it if you want to try to get in. If you want to try to get into this thing. And if you think $4.97 is a lot for this, I don't feel I should even waste time talking about why this is a mind-blowing opportunity. To me, for myself, at the level I'm at, those of you who know me, if I'm this excited about releasing that 41 minutes in a professional way, the way I do it, the way you're going to see in the next week, if I'm that pumped up, yeah, it's a big deal. Let me share my screen. I'll show you guys where to submit your request to possibly be considered. We have to start there, okay, guys? And if you say, well, I didn't get picked, it's not about that. I'm only taking 4 people. If I was taking 90% of the people and you were the remaining 10%, fine. Okay? There we go. I'm done. I'm excited. I want to send this out and I want to start getting it cut up so you guys see the final result. Let me go on my Facebook and show you guys where to submit your request. Okay, so here we are. I'm going to go to the Branding University group. Okay, so if you go to the facebook.com/groups/branding YOUniversity, okay? Request to be added to the group. I'm going to approve you. You see, you guys are already submitting requests. You guys are already submitting requests. 30 of you already. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start looking at them. But guys, if I refresh this, it's probably at 40 already. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask you to just, I don't know what you guys are typing in. Well, just say, I want to be considered for the, what would I call this? For the, just say $4.97 deal. That's it. I'm going to get back to you personally on Facebook and we will go from there. And then after that, let me show you the blog. Again, that's thewealthytrainer.com. You want to go here. You want to click on body of work. Right now, it's at 192. Within a week, this will be at 204. You will get to see the final result. Okay, guys. So submit your requests if you want this crazy opportunity, which I know it is. And I'm done, guys. We went over, but the content creation part did not go over. We did it in 41 minutes, and I'm super pumped up about that. So, guys, I'm going to send this out, and I cannot wait to see the results myself. And I will see you guys. I'm saying goodbye now. I'm saying goodbye. Submit your requests, change your life, and I'll contact you. I'm going to contact everybody who submits the request to give them the bad news, okay? Or at least to let you know when the content goes up. How about that? I'll let you know. I'll say, the edited copies are up. There you go. Check them out. But unfortunately, we already chose our 4, okay? You guys are not going to be upset at that, right? Because it's only 4 people. Okay, guys? So, this is Marc Lalonde signing off. And those were the 10 ways to pull yourself out of a business rut. Okay, guys, have an awesome Sunday, and I will see you all on social media. Bye-bye now.